This is Steve Leibowitz for Win News. The boycott, divestment, sanctions movement, otherwise known as BDS, is a growing problem for Israel. The government is fighting back, and they've just now published a blacklist of the worst BDS organizations in the world. We're here at the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs with an expert on BDS, Dan Diker. What do you make of that list?
Steve, the list that was publicized by the Ministry of Strategic Affairs and its minister, Gilad Erdan, is actually a well-thought-out, I would call it a minimalist list of the worst in the world of BDS. That's exactly what the Anti-Defamation League called a lot of those organizations in its 2013 report. So what they have done for the last 9 months, the ministry, is to do a lot of homework and determine who are the worst violators in the BDS campaign, which rejects Israel's very existence. And this is why, for the first time, these organizations have been listed.
What will be the result, the practical result for these organizations to be on that Israeli list?
The practical result will be operationally that when the leaders, this comes out, by the way, this answer comes out of the law that was passed in the Israeli Knesset, that the leaders and those that are constantly in an ongoing way promoting boycott, divestment, and sanctions against the state of Israel will be disallowed, will be prohibited from coming into the country. Now, that does not cover Israeli citizens. It covers foreign nationals who have publicly declared and are working publicly to delegitimize, to isolate, and to subvert the state of Israel from an economic point of view, legally, politically, diplomatically, and culturally.
They've just announced a major budget of hundreds of millions of shekels for the strategic ministry to fight BDS. Is that a move in the right direction? You
know, Steve, BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions, is much more than those three letters. It represents a maximalist campaign to rid the world of Israel as we know it today. So people say that's ridiculous because Israel's this big, strong, compact Middle East superpower. However, there are thousands upon thousands of activists and hundreds of networks around the world, Europe and the United States primarily, that are working to subvert the state of Israel by pressuring governments, by drafting hundreds of thousands of people to their membership lists. And now with the internet, there is a force multiplier effect. And so it really can result in the subversion of the national legitimacy of a country. And therefore, any country in the West would most probably disallow people whose declared intention is to subvert that country. In this case, we're not doing it via terrorism, but they're doing it via every other means.
Dan Diker, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.